My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Kobolds and Catacombs dungeon runs here in Hearthstone. It's time to go with the warrior. Take it back from the top. I know Mage is the only one without a crown. We're doing this in order. I already made the thumbnails. I can't do anything else. I guess I could just make different thumbnails. No. No, I already made the thumbnails. It's weird because I actually made like series like 1 to 200 for each character, and then I only saved every ninth. So technically, I made all of the thumbnails for everything, and then I deleted a bunch of them. I could bring back the mage ones and just do a bunch of mage in a row, but when I finish mage, what else is there to do? Alright, we're about to dunk the opponent in the face for 1 trillion billion damage points. It's gonna be glorious. Here we go. That number says trillion billion. As far as I'm concerned, at least. Ow. Delicious. The opening fight is just a race. As I've said before, I am considering just cutting out the opening fight, just not using it, because why would I? Is it helpful? Like it's just gonna resolve like this every single time. It's not unique. Unique things happen now. I mean, it does give me some time to pat at the intro and just say hi. It's me. Welcome back to Hearthstone. I know. Been a while. Crystal gem, small backpacks. We could go with an offensive build and try it. Yeah, but aggressive builds don't scale well into the late game against the late bosses. They just get crushed after the first board clear is played. Crystal gem is always just underwhelming. We're going with small backpacks, but only because there aren't like a lot of good spell damage minions, spell damage cards rather in warrior. So like crystal gem is okay, but having 2 extra cards is more powerful. Nazosphert Maid is actually a pretty good pickup. Small time Buccaneer, depends. Sky Captain Crag's lame and bad and not good. Orgrimmar Aspirant. Orgrimmar. Orgrimmar? Orgrimmar. Orgrimmar. The Aspirant has the ability to give my weapon a bunch more attack. That's reasonable. Death's Bite, Tentacle for Arms. Tentacle for Arms will allow me to go long in fights. But that said, it's not really powerful. I'm still going to take that, though. Let's take that. Candlebeard Opener. We had that last time. We'll have it again now. I know what I want. I want this to become Dragon Warrior. That's what I want. I obviously haven't got any of the build for Dragon Warrior yet, but start offering me the Dragon Heart, Fire Dragon Heart, or whatever you call the dragon build for this. And I'll start taking it. Warbot's going to be a really good turn 1 play here, because unless my opponent counters it by playing the Deadly Snake, I'm going to be good. And even if my opponent does counter it by playing the Deadly Snake, I just Cruel Taskmaster that. Hey, Pit Snake, that's its name. Keep forgetting it.
Back to work. Battle commencing. What you got?
Alright. Hired gun, double face. We have a Death's Bite and we have a Heroic Strike, so we have a lot of reach when we want it. We have 7 on board, Heroic Strike in hand, we've got lethal. I mean, we obviously could have used the Death's Bite, but one of them's cooler. Pretty good turn 4 kill. I think at this point, we actually will take the taunt. Recruiter is a trap, taking another weapon. I mean, there's a old quote about Hearthstone. I can't remember who said it, but it was one of the pros in the scene at the time. And it was so old of a quote that this time, that at the point that this was said, it was novel. There is no card worse to draw than a weapon when you already have one equipped. I still reasonably agree with that. Since Primordial Drake and the Lich King are relatively high value, and I know a guy can be flexible, I'm more than happy to take that, especially considering I didn't have any high end yet. I'm really glad to see Overseer Mogok right now, because seeing them later would probably end my run. With this deck, yeah.
Garrosh versus Ugar. Victory or death.
If you're wondering why Recruiter is a trap because the game starts you with a deck that has a lot of small minions in it already. So suddenly, all recruit cards become way worse because they're much more likely to still draw out those low minions. Direhorn Hatchling versus Ornery Direhorn. We don't have a 5 or a 6 play yet. We have 3 plays. We could consider Little Exorcist in a situation where we expect on turn 2 our opponent will play the Unstable Ghoul, and then we will respond with a Little Exorcist. It'll be a 3-4 with Taunt. But we already have turn 3 plays, including a Fiery War Axe, which is the best response we have to a Unstable Ghoul. I think we need the board pressure more than we need defensiveness. Yeah, so we'll take the Ornery Direhorn. 2 extra energy and the ability to... Energy. Someone's been playing way too much Slay the Spire, and it's me! Between the recording of the last episode of this series and this episode, I've probably played about 200 hours of Slay the Spire, for a total of 351 hours in that game. So, you know.
Battle detected.
Little bit addicted.
Faster.
Talk about a nice soup.
Battle
We're gonna take this out.
commencing.
Enrage our own minion. We don't need an instantaneous response to anything on the board, so we'll play the Raging Worgen. Good.
Battle commencing.
Battle commencing. Let's go face for all of our damage. We've still got a bash in hand. We've still got a heroic strike left in deck. My opponent's not going to be able to remove the Raging Worgen this turn. So we're 3 damage short of lethal right now. Awesome. I think we're more than fine to start reaching for it. Yup. Well played.
Well played. No speak smart talk. Only speak whip.
Whip. Alright, what do I want for a treasure? In this deck? How about a Primordial Wand? Amulet of Domination this early can be quite good. 2 mana Mind Control, plus I get to add cards to my deck, try and cover up for my own weaknesses. I really still do want to actually at some point build Kel'Delar as the weapon. Look, in a vacuum, I would take the Amulet of Domination, but I'm going to take the Hilt of Kel'Delar because it's actually quite nice considering I have a bunch of Enrage minions. Enrage minions get better when you increase their health values so that you can use them more. But then on top of that, I still haven't gotten the full Blade of Keldalar, and I want it so bad. I've also never gone up against the treasure room. I've never done either of those two things, and both of them make me sad that I haven't done that. Like, terrifyingly, weepingly sad. You can see, look at me, I'm overwrought with emotion. You can tell, just look. These aren't bad. I could actually take the weapons build here. Yeah, I will. Because it's got things that support a weapons build rather than things that are amazing. Rather than weapons. It's also worth noting we've got a second Fiery War Axe, so if we play a Fiery War Axe on turn 3 and swing with it, then on turn 4, we can play a Grave Shambler and swing with it, the Fiery War Axe that is, and then we have a 5/5 Grave Shambler on 4 that only has the ability to grow after that. Quite nice. Well, I mean, it has the ability to grow or die. So, you know, it'll do one of those.
Versus Thadok the Thief!
Alright, Thadok.
Victory or death!
An early Hilt of Keldalar is quite nice, but also keeping a Cruel Taskmaster to respond to my opponent's early Glacial Shards is also going to be quite nice. So we actually got what I was talking about beforehand. We've got the Fiery War Axe to play in the way that I'd expected. I'm going to hold the Cruel Taskmaster. So that's going to be played and it's going to jump back to hand. It's not. So this is actually why I held the Cruel Taskmaster, so that I can kill the Glacial Shard.
Back to work!
Because that's one thing that the opponent can do that actually really stomps over pretty much every deck. Playing the Glacial Shard again and again and again. Because unless you can flood the board early, that Glacial Shard will stop you until your opponent has their mission active. Their quest, rather. Mission! I kind of want to leave the Igneous Elemental alive because I don't want to give my opponent the Fire Elementals in hand. If my opponent's gonna kill it, let them kill it themselves, rather. Wow, that's not the minion you should be bouncing. You've got 2 Fire Elementals in hand. Bounce that. I'm embarrassed for you. That's a really stupid action. Devastating. You're devastated right now. There we go. 4th play of the Stone Tusk Boar. And now I kill it. Well done. You just did nothing for a very long period of time and then continued to do less. So that's good.
No quarter!
Maybe that's the minion. There we go. What if it was just like, what if it just came out as a minion? I think that'd be fun. Face for 11 damage. I mean, we can. But that's a much more reasonable. I forgot that that minion could be bounced and give my opponent another Fire Elemental. This is the perfect minion to be bounced. Hey, my opponent wasn't low enough health. Hell yeah. So in fact, not hitting my opponent in the face for the 5 damage that turn prevented me from losing my whole board to that revenge. We accidentally smarted. The only way I ever do anything smart. By accident. Bye-bye, Static. And hello to... I think at this point it's actually the Reinforcer. Let's have a look to see. We do have a dragon in the deck. We have 2 dragons in the deck. And a mech. If we had like a beast or a murloc, then I would consider the curator package, because King's Defenders actually, it's fine. It's like a fiery war axe with a strict upside. Unidentified shield can be amazing, or it can be horrible. It can be tower shield plus 10, or it can be serrated edge shield. It can give you a 5/2 weapon, as well as 5 armor, which is a 6 mana, you know, Iron Hide plus a Arcanite Reaper. Or it can be 15 armor, which a lot of the time doesn't really do much. I think we'll go with Reinforcer. Waxmancer, stir me!
Garrosh versus Waxmancer, stir me!
So she's a bit of a rough opponent. I think I actually keep this hand, because all I need to do is draw a weapon, and this hand becomes ridiculous. My pretty wax pretty! There we go, we drew the weapon as well. Well done us. I know, it took a lot of hard effort and skill, but we finally did it. Almost immediately after I asked for it.
Battle detected. What's up? Battle commencing.
The beasts betrayed me.
Okay. We play the Grave Shambler, attack your face. Delicious. You can get a 3rd hound.
Battle detected.
Why? That doesn't have charge. What a daft action. That's perfect. That's what I'm playing next turn. That is some hard removal. By which I mean it's hard to agree with. This gives us the ability to play the Lich King on the next turn, which is really good.
Warriors of the frozen wastes.
If my opponent does end up summoning a bunch of 2/2 hyenas, then Primordial Drake is fine. Never mind, it looks like they're going to copy my Emperor. Never mind, it looks like they're going to copy nothing and lose. Which, like, that's a strategy, sure. Awesome. And this game is so over. My opponent can summon a taunt using the Sculpt Wax. That's almost always explosive trap, I believe. They seem to prioritize Death Rattles over, yeah, even when they needed taunt, but they still got a taunt this time. So well done them. Or rather, they wanted and got a taunt.
Back to work. No quarter.
Hey, there is a freezing trap. I think I attack with my lowest damage minion first. Well played. Whew. Against enemies that don't really have removal options, the Emperor Thaurissan is going to be amazing for us. Scepter of Summoning, because we actually have... No, but still not that much. But since we have Emperor Thaurissan, and we have weapons in the early game, I think we do skew late now. So I think we take Scepter of Summoning, kind of aspirationally. And now we go high. Woe Cleaver is bad, and also not decreased in cost. Silver Vanguard is going to recruit either Primordial Drake or the Lich King. That's actually kind of fine. Dead Man's Hand is not really that good for us. How many taunts do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still won't. I do have enough to activate Fire Plume though. With Upgrade and Orgrimmar, I think we actually just take Death Spite here. Orgrimmar's also going to really help us smooth out our... No, it's not. It's not. We have enough 3-drops. Orgrimmar isn't necessary to smooth out our curve. It would have been nice if that was another Grave Shambler. Shambler. No one pronounces the A like that, right? Ryan. Hey, George and Carl. I don't see these guys often. Quite rare. I'm not going to keep Thaurissan in hand. In fact, I'm not even going to keep the Fiery War Axe. I want to dig for my playables in the early game. I have 2 Fiery War Axes, so when I need it, I imagine it will come to me. I may actually upgrade the Brass Knuckles, because 3-4 weapon is not half bad. I wanted a 2-mana defender, but I didn't want that one. I might actually take Wrathion here. Gives me some card draw. And Evil Heckler is already my turn 4 play. Sorry, my Brass Knuckles are already my turn 4 play. I'll take Wrathion. It's also a turn 5, so that's good.
Reporting for duty.
Will Cruel Taskmaster to kill one of them?
Back to work.
And we do have a Primordial Drake in deck. Maybe we draw that. We're not going to, but maybe we do. But we won't. Orgrimmar trade. I don't want my opponent to use Divinity again.
Reporting for duty.
That doesn't seem good. Alright. Lower the HP of the minions, because lower the HP of the minions. Remove as many as I possibly can, because I don't want Divinity. Tag team. Swap George and Carl. Wow, you can actually do that at will?
Oh, let me have a go. Reporting for duty.
Huh. That's actually a really cool mechanic. I didn't think they had any mechanic like that. Usually I just kill them before they, really show any of the mechanics that they have. So I'll swing with this before I play Wrathion, so that's some extra... It's actually not half bad.
You gotta pay up.
You've gotta pay up. That's weird, I usually don't hear that line. I do really want to play the Emperor Thaurissan. Like, the best way for me to do that would be Hilt of Keldalar, trade, Emperor Thaurissan, go face. Other actions include, like, Heroic Strike and Grave Shambler. Attack here. No. It's not worth anything that slows down summoning the Emperor Thaurissan. It's too powerful. It's a lot of weapons in hand, though. Hey, 9 damage to your own face, don't mind.
Reporting for duty.
I do actually want to destroy this weapon right now. Because I do need to start playing other weapons. I don't want my opponent to be able to buff any of theirs. Also, that's their only minion in hand because Grime Street Enforcer has hit it. So all of these are probably buff spells. I think I just want to control the board and then I'll go face.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Well, at this point, I have the option to Death's Bite and then destroy my own Death's Bite. So that's good. Take face for 5 damage. Then I play a Fiery War Axe, destroying my own Death's Bite, triggering its Death Rattle, attacking everything. Yeah, I wasted a damage there, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I also could have enraged my own Worgen there. Thing is, I know they have Consecrate in that deck, so enraging my own Worgen doesn't seem like a great idea for me. Unless my opponent had the Taunt up, then we were going to be fine here. So we actually managed to play a lot of weapons and reasonably get some cool effect out of them. Me bad. Me bad. No more weapons, especially not those. I could actually take pirates here. Just because Small Time Buccaneer, I have enough weapons that it will work. Dread Corsair is a lot of the time free, and Naga Corsair is just a reasonable 4-drop minion that buffs my weapon. We're going to have an extreme amount of difficulty with late game bosses though, because we're not going to have health as a resource, or rather we're not going to have enough health as a resource to really get anything, like, to compete toe-to-toe with their late game. So I think the only way we win in those situations is going to become... I'm actually going to keep the Fiery War Axe here because I already have this. Is going to become the Lich King giving me basically the win. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know. Kind of unfortunate. Who goes there? I remember when I used to be terrified of hearing that voice line. Hey, crumbs. Still need to remove it. I've given my opponent a card draw, and I've given them a 1. Hopefully, that's not, you know, Flame Wreath Faceless. I fucking knew it was going to be as well. I could have called it. I swear I could have called that. Oh, I'm mad. Oh, I'm furious. It's raining! Excellent. I have to give my opponent another card. It's either that or take a billion face damage. So let's take slightly less than a billion face damage here. Those are some unplayables. That's a really cheap burglary. Can you stop? Please? Just as a kindness to me? Oh. Well, life is getting very difficult for us. At a certain point, I will actually just be able to draw them into fatigue, but not for a while. So I do need to be, you know, alive for just a bit. Mm-hmm. Hopefully I draw one of my weapons now.
Prepare to face the mighty Millhouse Metastorm.
They're going all face? That's a weapon.
Our hammers echo in the deep. No problem.
I did in this order so I could get armor, but now I don't get a buff from the brass knuckles.
I feel bad, but I don't.
Another crushing hand just completely shuts us out of this game, though. So is that.
Trogzor. Trogzor.
All right, I think I actually just have to pin all of this on a gamble. 40% of the time we win here.
So much power.
Yeah, we're done. We tried. I promise we tried. Like, a little bit at least. Wow.
Frog hungry.
Fuck me. There's nothing we can do. Like, it's gonna take a miracle.
Truth is my shield.
Attack, attack, we're dead. Alright. Whatever. Yeah, he's dead no matter what calculation happened there. We could have buffed this up ridiculously. It's an unfortunate one, to be sure. But there's nothing that would have kept us alive. We needed to win that roll beforehand. As a result of not winning it, we're just pretty much out of this game. Also, giving our opponent a Burgly Bully and a Flame Reach Faceless is kind of unfortunate, considering they have actually a lot of low-cost cards, but the ones that we gave them were a 4 and a 5. So we saved them kind of a lot of mana there. If we didn't play the spells when we did, we would have just taken a bunch more damage, though, so we were kind of guarded into a corner. We also didn't really draw our power cards when we really needed them. I'm talking like Lich King, Emperor Tharasan, Naga Corsair. Brawl didn't go our way. Tentacle for Arms would have actually been a really nice draw because it would have been consistent outgoing damage. And our early game was a little bit weak. Ah, well. Another knockout by that guy. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game. It's been Hearthstone Dungeon Runs. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content on this game, past, present, and future. If you like the video, please click like. It does help me grow the channel. And hopefully we'll see you next time, Deborah. Deborah.